Government is being urged to ensure an independent and diverse media free from harassment. Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, says in addition to the financial challenges facing media organizations arising from the COVID-19 pandemic, issues of abuse still persist. Now, the issue has been topical here in Ghana in the last few weeks, following a speech by statesman Sam Jonah on whether there was a return to the dreaded culture of silence. The world is today marking World Press Freedom Day. There's more in the following report.
In April 2018, the Media Foundation for West Africa listed 17 instances where journalists were attacked within 15 months in Ghana. It includes the attack on JoyNews journalist Latif Idris, who was brutally beaten while on assignment at the police headquarters.
One officer who was standing in front of one of the crowd control vehicles.
That was inside the compound?
Outside.
In
front of the main gate. I asked him if they have any special name for the crowd control vehicle. Then, in a very rude manner, he said in a can that I should get off. Free me so nkwasiasem anadina wababy same in a can. I got embarrassed, so I turned and I was walking away and I said, "Oh Charlie." "Oh Charlie," the "Oh Charlie" I said was my offense. He held my shirt, pulled me back and slapped me in the face. He came and held me again. "Who are you? I'm talking to you and you're telling me, "Oh Charlie." And then pushed me to a crowd of police officers who had gathered in front of them.
How many of these police officers?
There were a lot of them. There were lots.
Can you put a number to them?
For those gathered in front of the headquarters, there were more than 20. So he pushed me into them. They didn't know what was going on between the two of us. But I don't know, they all started beating me, slapping me here and there. So I shouted and called him, "Joel." Joel, he came and I asked him to start filming. He raised his camera and he started doing something. Some of them also pounced on him.
Other incidents captured include an attack on a freelance journalist, Kendrick Ofer, by soldiers in March 2017 during Ghana's 60th independence celebration. 2 journalists, including an editor working with Modern Ghana, were arrested and interrogated by national security operatives in July 2019. Lawyer for the Modern Ghana journalist Samson Ladi Anyenini was unhappy.
Our generation must stand up to be counted, that the processes of the court and the powers of the state will not be used by certain individuals for their own parochial personal interest. You have a complaint about a publication, they put up an article. You call them, ask them to pull it down. They pulled it down. You are now looking for something to stick and say they have committed cybercrime.
Ghana currently ranks number 30 in the World Press Freedom Index. In 2016, the nation ranked 26th. Media watchers say the current position of the nation is as a result of the attacks on journalists, many of which remain unresolved. A key case often referred to is the gruesome murder of investigator Ahmed Hussein Swale, who worked closely with investigative journalist Anas Arim Yanas.
Ahmed was rushing, so he used the car to enter that kiosk, salon over there. So he used the car to enter, and then the man went there again and gave him the last shot. So make it three gunshots. He followed him into the shot and gave him 3 gunshots. Ahmed was inside the car. Statesman
Sam Jonah has been asking questions about whether the nation is returning to the dreaded days when freedom of speech was a rare commodity, the culture of silence.
Men and women of conscience who write and speak words that penetrated the halls of power. It appears to me that in recent times, in our fourth Republican dispensation, the courage to stand up for the truth and the determination to uphold the common good seems to be missing. Now, at that moment, it is concerning that the voices of the intellectuals are receding into oblivion. Sadly, it is a consequence of deep partisan polarization of our country, said that everything is seen through the lenses of politics.
Now, the theme for this year's World Press Freedom Celebration is information as a public good. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres says pressmen can only contribute information for public if they are free from harassment.
The global challenges we have faced during the COVID-19 pandemic underline the critical role of reliable, verified, and universally accessible information in saving lives and building strong, resilient societies. During the pandemic and in other crises, including the climate emergency, journalists and media workers help us navigate a fast-changing and often overwhelming landscape of information, while addressing dangerous inaccuracies and falsehoods. In too many countries, they run great personal risk, including new restrictions, censorship, abuse, harassment, detention, and even death, simply for doing their jobs. And the situation continues to worsen. The economic impact of the pandemic has hit many media outlets hard, threatening their very survival. As budget tightens, so too does access to reliable information. Rumors, falsehoods, and extreme or divisive opinions surge in to fill the gap. I urge all governments to do everything in their power to support a free, independent, and diverse media. Free and independent journalism is our greatest ally in combating misinformation and disinformation. The United Nations Plan of Action on the Safety of Journalists aims to create a safe environment for media workers across the globe because information is a public good. Today, we commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Windhoek Declaration for the Development of a Free, Independent and Pluralistic African Press. Despite dramatic changes in the media over the past 3 decades, the Declaration's urgent call for press freedom and free access to information is as relevant as ever. Let's reflect on its message and renew our efforts to protect media freedom so that information remains a life-saving public good for all.